Yes, of course. I'm talking about in terms of being adopted as a resolution.
Yeah.
So you can't say something which has been adopted as a resolution is something which has no founding in the main party.
It doesn't have fine. It's
if you
not.
didn't say it's fine, but let me clearly say
the
it.
many.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me also finish my presentation so that we can
quote me correctly.
Okay, it's fine. Let me not quote you and make my presentation.
Yeah.
On the 21st ZANU-PF annual conference in 2024, that's where it was adopted as a key resolution of that Congress. In 2025 National People's Conference again, it was also endorsed by a full ZANU-PF conference. So when you come and make these claims to say it has no founding in ZANU-PF, or it's only a clique of people in ZANU-PF who are sort of propagating this thing, that's not true, and we all know it. Because if a conference adopts a resolution, it means all representatives who have come from the districts, from the wards, from the vidicos, from the whatever structure, have actually agreed to that resolution. Thank you, and I land.
Thank you. Sorry. Sorry. Let me just jump in for a second. Yeah. Do you know of a resolution by ZANU-PF to say we must adopt a monocurrency in Zimbabwe, a ZIG? Do you know of that resolution?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
How far it is, that resolution?
They're actually progressing it. They'd actually put in a timeline, an ETA of 2030, but they've come and revised the implementation of it to then say, let's rather...
Sorry, can you just recognize my co-host there? That's the main co-host. He's the host there. Just recognize him if you want to. He's been raising his hands for quite a long time.
I didn't see with the co-host. Okay,
yeah, you can see, yeah. Check on him.
Okay.
He's the boss. All right.
That's fine.
So they've changed the target from 2030 to actually say we need to have the basics in place before we move to the monocurrency. The basics they are talking about import cover, they are talking about its exchangeability, the how widely it's used in the economy, and they're putting laws to make sure that the SIG actually grows from its current 20% usage. And so that it tries to replace the US. But if you ask me personally, I think they've got quite a battle to overcome. I don't think it's easy to replace the US dollar in Zimbabwe.
I know what engineer is lying when he's got a laugh behind his submission.
Marcy, let me ask him again. You see, engineer, you are saying they've got a mountain to climb, right? Are you also tacitly agreeing that those resolutions are not sort of sunk or they are sort of they are changeable, so to speak? It's not like the will is just going to be implemented in the way that it was proposed at Congress or at conference.
Yes, the resolutions have an expiration term of 1 year.
Right.
They can be renewed at the next conference.
Right.
Or changed.
So that can actually apply to your own argument of this one of the president. That they are not sunk or they are not above reproach the resolutions. Not even going into how after a resolution is adopted, how it will be ratified by Congress to be something that is not changeable in the party. That has not happened. The Congress is there in 2027. We haven't got there. So ZANU-PF itself, its process is incomplete in this regard of a resolution by a conference because it hasn't been ratified by a Congress. We can go and take this in the ZANU-PF constitution. In actual fact, if they wanted to cement it, they should have called an extraordinary Congress to then elect these resolutions for adoption. That hasn't happened. So these resolutions, as we are saying, they can't be used as national policy at this stage where we are. And as you are saying, it shows that there is no traction within the whole structure of ZANU-PF. it's a glitch that is trying to usurp power because they realize that they are running out of time. They are going out to into they are being destitute at this moment. Thank you. I give it to Tsep to take over for me. Tsep, are you there or because I can't hear anyone speaking at the moment.
Maybe she forgot to unmute herself.
Hey, it's a he. Engineer farmer. The tap does not like.
I think he left. He raised his hand and left.
He knows
Can I continue with my submission if that's the case?
farmer is here. I don't know why he's behaving. You have to apologize, engineer farm, or else go off my listeners.
What do I need to apologize about?
I don't like also the way you treat my co-host in general chat.
Which one?
You accordingly.
What did I do, Scotty?
So let's Tep, are you there?
What did I do, Scotty?
Not there, Justice. Let's move on.
Scotty, what did I do?
All right, Zio, can you round up in about 3 minutes?
To say sorry.
Yeah, just give me a few minutes.
Hold on, guys. Let me what should I apologize about, Scotty? What did I do wrong?
You say she.
No, you made a mistake on the gender.
Oh, no. I think I wanted to say he. I sometimes co-host with Step. I know it's a he. I apologize for that. Hey, come on, man. It's all right, Scotty.
Okay, if I may proceed.
You misidentified his sex.
You know, the misgendering. Anyways, sorry.
What is gender? It's a social construct.
Hey, please, Taketa biology. It's not a social construct.
Gender is a social term. The sex is the real scientific term.
Yes.
Scientific term called gender.
I'll give you a nod to that. So anyway, basically ngatiti gaga. So I'm gonna cruise through. I'm not gonna break down too much detail on the recommendations of the IMF report because at that time, basically the recommendations were tightening government spending, promoting the local currency in those Zingiatina, and then fixing public fund governance. And then what I'm particularly interested in, fighting financial crime. Doing recommendations like people. Now,
so how are they speaking about crime if earlier on Black Night question of saying what about criminality? Why would we be questioning if they are not recognizing it as doing the
when we talk in financial crime, we talk about it as illicit funds. That's why I use the term illicit funds.
That's criminality.
Yeah, that's why that's financial.
If you were a person tasked with the financial monitoring, and you would be accused of having done a crime.
Yes, that's correct.
So but that's the criminality that he's talking about.
There's particular words that we don't use. We don't use words like corruption and stuff like that.
It is corrupt if you deliberately not use the system.
You can use that word, and I'm being professional.
I'm saying professionally, if you are found to have not been using the correct methods, you are charged with a crime.
Mercy.
That's the criminality.
Yes, you are charged with a crime, but as you are being
what
charged,
is crime? If you are charged with a crime, you've been criminal.
The financial analyst who's doing the report, they do not use the words that they'll use are words like illicit funds. That's what you call it.
But you are not them. You are us here interpreting.
You don't know
that is the criminality.
You don't know who I am. This is why I said the job that I'm doing.
I know here publicly you did not say I'm giving financial advice as
here
you are the ordinary person interpreting. And criminality is criminality.
For me, criminality, the way that I understand it, according to that IMF report, it's illicit funds. Whether you want to interpret it as corruption or chesino is up to you. Whatever words you
right now, if you are giving us financial advice or financial interpretation as a professional, but then you are wanting to give it as a lay person, are you impersonating a professional?
What do you mean? I'm trying to give it as a layperson.
Are you giving it to us as a financial expert?
I'm
This
giving it to you
analysis.
as I'm giving you this analysis as a financial services representative.
Okay, is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
You are representing your profession.
I'm representing my profession. I think I actually
Okay.
switched my profile to a professional profile.
All right.
I just haven't
So
routing
this that you are
myself.
giving us is professional.
This
It's
is for my
reputationally
yes. I'm
endorsed.
in a few weeks. I'm going to ID verify my profile. You just won't be able to see my name or my face.
So now, prior to
Yeah.
that, before that declaration, you were giving it as a layperson.
No, I was explaining. No, prior to that, I was using layman's language to try and
Yes, so
explain.
layman's language is
Yeah,
criminality.
in layman's, um, yes, it's. I wasn't denying that it's criminality. What I just refused to
You
do
were
was
saying
to
it's not
use.
corruption.
I did not say that it's not corruption. I just used a different word. I said it's called illicit funds. That's so. Let's be specific. Like you can try to back me into a corner to say a specific thing. Like there's just specific words that like. First of all, you don't use them because to start with, the moment you use them, the entire conversation falls apart, and then it just becomes an entire argument of whose right is it for the IMF to say we're corrupt? Don't they have corruption in their own countries? And then you go back and forwards, and then you go nowhere, and then it just becomes an emotional
No,
engagement.
IMF is not a country.
No, I didn't say
It's an
IMF
institution.
I know it's an
So why
institution, man.
would we ask, don't they have financial corruption in their country? Which country?
But the
Because
people who
IMF is
fall
not
into the
there.
IMF come from
IMF
countries that also have
IMF is
corruption.
formed by particularly Western
Which country?
it-
Which country would we be accusing them of?
we would be accusing Western countries.
Which ones?
The US, the UK.
See now, that's not financial advice that you're doing now.
Well,
Because
Anditi,
we
you are
wouldn't move
so
the
Anditi,
IMF to
you
a
asked the
country
question. You
specifically.
asked Masi, you asked the question to draw me out to say that
But now
Anditi.
you're drawing
That's
yourself into the layman.
so. Why are you trying to trap
Don't
me
draw
into this?
yourself there, because if you
I'm
start
not
saying
drawing
the
myself
IMF
there,
is
Mas.
their
You're asking me
country,
these questions. You're asking me these questions to put me in this position when what we should be discussing
don't
is
get
the
into
economic.
it. Refuse. Same as you
What?
refused to classify
No.
it as criminality. You
That,
can't then say IMF in their country. Which country?
can you see how
So he
disingenuous
did
it
not
is
refuse to classify as
that you
criminality.
set
He
it that you
said you
set a
can't call
trap
it
for me? You set a
corruption. They
trap
are
for me,
illicit
and then
funds.
you laugh and you say don't get into to refuse. So why did you set the trap in the first place? What are your
No,
intentions?
you, the professional, are the one who's supposed to maintain your professional integrity, not me on your behalf. If I draw you, you stick to your professional integrity.
So what are
You
your
don't
intentions?
say I undermined my professional integrity because you drew me.
No.
That's not a defense.
I bit because I wanted to see why. I
No, you
wanted to
didn't. You
understand why.
fell into it, and therefore
Yeah, I
you
fell
are a
into it.
person
Then
who chooses
so
when you want
so
to use
so
professional integrity and when you don't.
wait. So were you trying to prove that I lack professional integrity? Was that the purpose of your question?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. You've
Yeah,
proven
thank
your
you.
point.
Proved that you
Now,
can't.
okay. So now you've proven that I can't. So now can we please continue the conversation and discuss the economic impacts of Cap 3? You've proven your point.
As
I
a
lack
lay
capacity.
person, I'm
And
listening to you as a lay person.
and no.
Yeah, I'm not
Which
listening to you as a professional because you
yeah,
don't use your professional
that's fine.
integrity.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't respect me as a professional. You made your point very clear. That's why I
It's
bit
not
because I
me
wanted.
who doesn't respect your professional integrity. It's yourself.
Okay, that's fine, Masi. Look, that's okay. I think it's just we're wasting a lot of time discussing things that don't matter, and I don't even understand why we're talking about this.
You're not being honest, Gecko. Because
Eh,
if you're reading from official verifiable reports, if they call it corruption, then you can also call it corruption.
No, you
If
can't call it. No, in the IMF report they don't call it corruption. That's why I don't call it.
did you hear
That's why I
what I
didn't
said?
call it corruption.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you said if I'm reading from
If you're
official verifiable reports.
referencing,
Yeah.
a verifiable report which is officially published or gazetted, you can call it corruption if that report calls it corruption.
It doesn't, though. The IMF report doesn't call it corruption.
Yeah, that means it hasn't been through condemned by a court of law, whatever, what that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if it has, don't say you can't call it.
No, that's why I refuse to call it corruption. But if I wanted you to call it corruption.
Okay. If the report doesn't call it corruption, you can't. You operate.
No, in its recommendation, it then goes on to recommend tightening corruption. It does. In its recommendation. It doesn't say
on.
that
does it say corruption, or is it talking about transaction monitoring?
No, the one you read now before.
The 2020. So we're talking about the 2020.
It recommends for
but we're talking about Article 4, 2025. Is that correct?
So it does talk about tightening corruption issues.
Where does it talk about tightening corruption?
Read the one you read. Just the paragraph you read before we interrupted.
It talks about fighting financial crime.
Yes.
So where does it say corruption there?
Crime is the corruption.
Okay.
Sure. No, Mercy, you can't use a strong language like that.
No, but criminality is as a result of corruption.
Yeah, but he can't use language like that. He operates under strict guidelines.
No, but it says criminality is as a result of corruption.
Understood.
It doesn't exist if people were not corrupt.
Understood, but if words were not used explicitly, this guy might lose his license.
No, it will say it is tightening fiscal illicit funding or whatever, but it does then go on to speak of corruption.
Marcy, let me explain something. When we talk about fighting financial crime, what's financial crime? Financial crime
could be anything.
Exactly. It could be
criminal.
No. Let me explain it. I did it. When you talk about fighting financial crime can be as simple as insurance fraud.
That's a crime.
Yeah, but then if we're talking about corruption, if we're talking about corruption, that's something completely different, right? We're not talking about governance.
No, can a crime happen if there's no corruption?
Are you using the word corrupt in the sense of corruption of the soul, corruption of the spirit?
Corruption is even better than crime. You're making it look like corruption is the tougher word. No, criminality is the worst name. Because corruption could just be a person who is flawed in their knowledge, but he has no intention, but by mere non-adherence can create a flaw. But now when we say criminals, we are saying that the person is knowledgeable but chooses to not to facilitate. Yes, a crime is worse than corruption.
I think when you when you're talking about financial crime, there's actually two different types of financial crime that can occur. There's some that are premeditated and there's some that are opportunistic. So it's
but the IMF report does not say which one of the two. You are now
no, it doesn't. It just talks about it just talks about fighting financial crime. When starting to fight financial crime, God, this is where the financial the FIU comes to play with their operations. But look, Masi, we can have this discussion later. Let's try and move on. I just wanted to say shout out to Namkoma Tex. It's nice to have you here.
But you're not giving financial advice. So how are you operating under?
No, I'm not giving financial advice. I don't give financial advice.
You just
I'm not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor.
Dodging questions though.
Look, if you ask me a question that I cannot answer.
Let's go to Magneto and Zimbabwe. So you can finish your submissions, you and tax
Uh,
drivers or
yeah,
what?
thank you very much. I appreciate. Okay, so basically, what I wanted to talk about was how CAB 3 could directly threaten the progress that the IMF report from 2025 points out that ED's tenure had been able to produce. Okay, there's the issue, the spiking of the investor risk tax. Sorry. So, patotala investor risk tax, that's that capital risk premium, and then whereby you're talking about when someone wants to invest in a country and it's a foreign investor, they take a look at how stable that economy is, or how stable the politics is, and there's a tax that they charge for operating in that jurisdiction. So basically, if we introduce CAB 3, the way it stands right now, it might directly sabotage the 6.0% economic growth that was praised by the IMF report from 2025. Okay, and then the second issue that's there is it might actually freeze international debt relief, which is something that we might need in order to pay some of our local debts. So, in order for our government to pay some of its local debts, which was another recommendation by the IMF. So if we freeze the international debt or halt that international debt, then we'll be in a worse situation, right? So those two particular things, when they come together, okay, they're the ones that, for me, I'm concerned about CAB 3. And when I say I'm concerned about CAB 3, I would like someone who is more knowledgeable economically. I'm not interested in the legalities of CAB 3. I'm not a politician. I'm not a lawyer. I just want to know, as a person. So for me, as a person who's interested in investing in Zimbabwe, so my personal goal now, as a layman, Matthew, I'm not speaking as a layman. I want to become a sophisticated investor in Zimbabwe. Okay, so I'm concerned about this because I'm like, okay, what would that mean for my potential investment opportunities once I start looking at what I can do in Zimbabwe? Because the reason why I joined the spaces was because I heard His Excellency say Zimbabwe is open for business. And then now I'm concerned that he's now shutting that door that he opened. And that's my submission. Thank you.
And that's why I said I pointed you out to the other 20 bills that are pending. They speak more of the economics of Zimbabwe than what we see in CAP 3 that merely clothes itself as an economic development issue. Yet the bills that speak to your investment potential are in the pending bills that he has spoken about twice in State of the Nation addresses. The first State of the Nation address, he actually chastised the legislators to say, quicken your pace on the bills that are pending. What were those bills? Those are the bills that speak to our commissioning. Those are bills that speak to our mining sector, our financial sector, our agro sector, our potters. Those issues are in bills that are pending, not in contained in amendment number 3. So as a business person, we have got pending bills that are supposed to be congruent with the business model that the president is speaking outside to the world in. He's been pushing it in mining sector at that bill that speaks directly to mining. That has been sitting there now for, this is its second parliament. Go and look at the ones that speak to agriculture. Again, they are sitting there. It's in their second parliament. So his rhetoric is not being expressed legislatively because the political environment is unstable. They cannot legislate when they do not know who the person will be on the seat. So now they're waiting for CAP 3 to solidify that position. Is Emerson Mnangagwa a long-term president, or there could be an incoming who is against these policy expressions that he says? So right now he is a rhetorical president. He's not supported by the frameworks in the legislation. The bills are pending. The only ones he's been able to rush through, the monetary ones, are the statutory instruments that he has used with the executive power. So go through the bills pending in Veritas. You will see what he's speaking about. The last one, before the electricity ran out in Parliament, when he was speaking, go and listen to what he's saying. He actually employs Parliament to be expedient in dealing with the pending bills, so that he can be congruent, what he speaks and what we are now in framework policy. But they have not been able to do that because it's unstable. So as an investor, look through those bills. That's when you see, Kuti, the president you are trusting is a rhetorical one. It's not supported by policy.
Masi, where did you get the impression that I trust the president?
No, I'm just speaking broadly.
When
I'm
you
not
say
saying
His
you
Excellency,
personally.
the moment you say His Excellency, you are betraying
Yeah.
yourself.
But
Is he not the president of Zimbabwe?
No, I'm saying listen to what he says, because he speaks it himself.
I'm going to say, I'll tell you one thing. I might disagree with
No,
whoever
I'm not. I was
in
using
Zimbabwe,
you.
but His Excellency will always be His Excellency. Shamara.
No, me,
That is
I'm
the
not
most
in that. I was
unpatriotic thing you can
using
have.
you as you broadly, not you as a person.
In any case, with what I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm against the president either. My political position doesn't matter. As I mentioned, I'm
But
not here as a
he
politician.
himself, in the last State of the Nation address, listen to what he is saying. He is actually angry to a point where when he finishes doing that State of the Nation address, I think it's Mtuli or his deputy, had to come and address Parliament. And he's addressing it based on a bill pending. It is still pending right now. You get what I'm saying? We have about 20 something bills that are pending, and they speak more of policy issues to do with investment in different sectors. The ones I know explicitly is mining, agriculture, land issues. Then there are issues to do with taxation, what is that, Zimra and whatnot. They are pending.
Masi, all these bills that you're talking about, the reason why Cap 3 is more important than them is because Cap 3 shows that any of these bills can easily be overturned. Cap 3
He
shows to
doesn't want them overturned. He wants them to be put into law. What are you talking about?
No, you're not listening to me. Give me
Why
a moment.
would they reverse something he is asking to be expediently put into law? So you are countering what he wants done.
I'm not talking about what he wants done. Please listen to my submission before you respond. Like, try to listen.